Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is a Magic Review. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the week. This is your #1 Magic Review show. Day after day, Monday through Friday, we always review the latest and the greatest. And today, super stoked about this. There's a ton of buzz out there. The forums already have pages of discussion about Instrumental by David Jonathan, Nikolas Mavresis. You can pick this up at Penguin Magic for 30 bucks. What is Instrumental? Instrumental is a little pack of cards. It's not even a full deck. It's not even poker size. They're a nice size. They're a nice size and they feel great. They feel great, they fan great on the table. They're quality. I'm gonna show them to you in a second. But every card has a different artist and song that you would find on Spotify. What is Spotify? Okay, I'm 56, all right? But even I have Spotify on my phone, okay? It's an app that's a media player that plays music, okay? So think Napster from 100 years ago, right? Or any other music player that we used to listen to, like iTunes, right? So it's sort of like that, but there's actually a little search field. So I can go into the search field, you know, hit Slim Shady Eminem, and then the song will come up and you can just play it, okay? Now, you can have the free version, which is what I have, and you can also pay for a premium version that kind of gets rid of the ads and gives you some extra features. I think even my kids have the premium version. So this is a trick that uses these cards that also mirror, let's say, what's out on Spotify. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring out your cell phone and you're gonna say, I'm gonna open up my Spotify app and I'm gonna make a prediction. So think of this just like a billet, right? You're gonna have the spectator think of a song and you're gonna take your pen and your billet out and you're gonna write Slim Shady and put it down on the ground. But in this trick, instead of using a billet, you're gonna use your phone, okay? So I'm gonna go to Spotify, find a song, and I'm just saying Slim Shady, Eminem, right? And I lay it down, but nobody can see what I've picked. Nobody sees my prediction. The phone is face down. I then hand the deck of the cards to the spectator, and they can go through the cards, and they can find the card they want, which means the cards are fully inspectable. They're seeing that they're all different, and they can pick any card. I'm not giving them a range. I'm not saying let's pick a number between 2 and 20, and then add those 2 digits together. It's not a force. The spectator has a free selection of any song and artist. They then take that card, put it to their chest. The cards are not marked on the back. You do not know which card they took. You'll then take the rest of the cards back from them. You could even turn around and say, show the card to everybody. They can. You point down to your phone, and then you pick the phone up off the table, tilt it towards them, and you predicted the same song and same artist that they have in their hand. And everything can be examined. There's no gimmicks, there's no extras, there's no rough and smooth, there's no short cards. It is what it is. Let's talk about it. First of all, everything comes in this outside box. It says Instrumental by David Jonathan and Nikolas Mavresis. You can see that it is Penguin Magic packaging, and this is nice because you can keep it inside this box and it'll remind you what the trick is called, and it'll maintain the tutorial link. Inside, you can see that you are getting a box of karaoke cards. Sing all the hits, right? So the cards themselves don't say anything about Spotify, right? You're just saying, I'm gonna go to Spotify to make my prediction, but the cards themselves don't have any Spotify logos or graphics. The back design is this full bleed, high gloss, purple, yellow microphone, and as you can see, they're a nice rigid plastic, which means these cards will last you forever. And then going through, we can look at the songs. So you got Bob Marley, Adele, the Beatles, Rihanna, Oasis, Post Malone, Shakira. You don't even have repeat performers, right? Everyone is different. Elvis, Lizzo, Beyonce, Amy Winehouse, The Police, Rick Astley, Olivia Rodrigo, Prince, Stevie Wonder, Eminem, Lil Nas, Bruno Mars, Alicia Keys, Taylor Swift, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Outkast, Pink, Sublime, Ed Sheeran, Lady Gaga, BTS, Ariana Grande, The Weeknd, Roy Orbison, One Republic, Pharrell, and then there's some extra GAF cards. In addition to the deck, you'll get access to the Facebook group and over 2 hours of content. Over 2 hours of content. So, is it what I thought? Yes. I was surprised. David Jonathan sent this to me, and then I did a live unboxing over in the members section, and I literally said what I thought the trick was before I even watched the tutorial, and someone in the comment section said, yep, that's how it's done. So I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to figure it out. But that doesn't mean your spectators will figure it out, because the way the blocking is done in this, the way the routine is scripted, it's so deceptive. I did this for my wife who's seen 100 tricks. I did it on the couch, right, with no table, just her sitting there. And I didn't have any story, no script, and I did it first time and she was shocked. And I did it poorly, like really sloppily, like almost too obvious, and she was shocked. So with practice and scripting and, you know, routining, this thing's gonna be a lock. Like it's so deceptive, because you can hand the cards to the spectator and they can go through the cards, find their own, put it to their chest, and it matches the prediction. It's crazy. You saw that the cards are well made, right? I appreciate that. Somebody I saw was asking about refills, and like, I don't know why you would need refills to this. Like if they said, well, what if the cards gets damaged? It's gonna be difficult because the cards are, you know, gloss and they're really well made. I think if somebody stole one of your cards or tore it, it'd be the same as if somebody stole one of your playing cards or tore it. Like you just have to go buy another deck, right? So what's the overall quality and production value of the video? You got the two creators. They're seated in a dark studio environment, and they're gonna cover a lot of the stuff at the beginning. And then it's kind of moved to David Jonathan in his studio. Well, he'll cover the bulk of the project, and then it'll cut back to the two of them when they talk about bonuses. So there's an intro, there's some live performances. They're gonna cover all the deck features, talk about how to set everything up, and they'll talk about how you justify the cards. Like, where did this box come from, right? Then they'll go over several handlings of the main routine. So the main routine is the one I described to you. And really, that is the bulk of the trick, right? The bulk of the video. They're gonna talk about all the different types of phones and all the different types of ways that you could have Spotify downloaded. So your spectator might have the premium version, whereas you might have the free version. We can go back and forth for that. And then they're also gonna talk about what you would do if you borrowed the spectator's phone, because you can. If they have Spotify on their phone, this will work on their phone. And then there's several bonus ideas. So they'll offer up a mind reading trick. They'll do a trick where you just remove 10 cards from the deck and make a little playlist. They have an out of this world. They have a small packet trick version. They're gonna cover false shuffles and sleights so that you can retain your deck in order. And then there's some crediting. Pocket space, you kind of saw how big it was, right? It's a mini-sized deck. So it's almost like bridge size ESP cards is what it feels like, right? Like a bridge size ESP deck, it's about that shape and size. It's not gonna take up any pocket space at all. And the good news is it comes with a double backer and it comes with a double facer. So there's tricks, like plain old everyday card tricks that you could do with this. Any trick that you know with a regular deck of cards and a double facer or a double backer, those options are here as well. So they packed a lot of punch into this. And we talked about angles, we talked about inspectability. The spectator's gonna have it in their hands, they're gonna go through everything. There's nothing to find on your phone. You're not using a secret Spotify app, you're using the real Spotify app, okay? And if they have it on their phone, like I said, we can use their phone, it's no big deal. Slice and difficulty level, there's none. There's no slides in this. You're not doing any double lifts, you're not doing any false transfers. You could do some false shuffles at the beginning to make it look like the deck could be in any order, but it's not even needed because, I think spectators naturally think of playing cards as needing to be shuffled, but these aren't playing cards. This is just a deck of artists that are a karaoke deck. So why would it matter if they were shuffled? There's nothing similar between one card and the next. It's not like you have 4 suits or 2 colors, right, that you're trying to separate or move cards far apart from each other. So it's why run if you're not being chased, right? Yeah. Setup, you're going to move the cards back into a stack. And the good news is you already got a built-in crib. There's a built-in crib and you'll never forget the stack. So positives, I love this trick. I love this trick. And here's testimony from some of the forums and things that I've seen out there and people that have even talked to me. There are people that have bought this from Penguin. They've watched the tutorial and the trick hasn't even arrived in the mail. And they already say, I love this. They love it without even owning it yet. They just watched the tutorial and that was enough for them. They were like, that's enough for me. I love this. And I got to say, they're right. They're right. Because for as many people that say, I don't like phone tricks or app tricks, it's not. You are using a deck of cards. So it immediately feels like a card trick. All you're doing with the phone is just using that to write down your prediction. That's it. Like I said, you would do the same thing if you had a billet and a pen. But because it's music, right? Now we have the option just to show them, hey, look, here's the artist and the... So, yeah, this is fantastic. All right, so negatives. I seem to have left something out, right? You heard that when you do this trick, the spectator has their card up here. They've got Slim Shady, M&M. And then you point to the phone and they can reach their hand out and just hit the up volume on your phone and the song is playing, right? That's how it's marketed, that you can hear the song playing. That is true, provided you have the premium version of Spotify. Okay, so I'll show you a graphic here. This is the graphic that comes in the tutorial. So the basic version on Apple and Android has no sound. Now, you can push play physically, right? So once that screen is up and you can see the song, you can push play. Now, half the time, an advertisement will play first if you have the basic free version, okay? If you have the premium version, it'll play the song. And if you have the enhanced version, which I believe is only on Apple, it'll actually play the music video as well. So you just need to know that up front. And you know what? I don't even mind. It doesn't change the effect for me at all. And I don't need to go out and buy the premium version just to do the volume up music effect. It is cool. It is cool. Everybody can hear the song, but I don't know. It's for free and I don't have to pay for the app just to show them that I predicted the same trick and I could just push play physically and make the song play. It's a no-brainer. I don't look at it as a negative, but I want people to be aware. I want people to be aware before you purchase what exactly is going on, okay? So is it worth your money? It's $30. $30. You don't need to buy an app or download an app unless if you already have Spotify. And who knows, if you already have Spotify for premium already, you're already paying premium, then get this because this trick will go with that subscription that you already have, right? That seems like a no-brainer. If you're already paying for Spotify without ads, then you should just add this to cart right now. Freaking right now. Like it's that good. And who knows, if you go up to a group of people and you just say, hey, who's got Spotify on their phone? And a couple people say, yeah. Or say, hey, do you have the free version or do you have the premium version? You can just ask, you don't have to call attention to it. Say, I have the free version, but we don't need to use mine if we don't want to. Oh, you have the premium version? Let me see your phone, blam, right? Or just, hey, who's got Spotify on their phone out of you 5? You do? Emily, can I use your phone? Easy, right? You don't gotta go to a secret website. You don't gotta punch a secret URL in. Nothing like that. They can open the Spotify app for you. And once they get their phone back, there'll be no indication as to how you did it. no shadow, right, of what you did. So yeah, instrumental, David Jonathan, Nikolas Mavresis. You can only pick it up at penguinmagic.com. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.